Welcome back, everybody, to the third game of today, the third quarterfinal, where we're going to the lower side of the bracket now, and we're here to bring you the first game between Millennium's Stephano, and as we joked about in a previous cast, Ro8's Radical Online Extremists Titan.
Yes.
And this is going to be, of course, it would be weird if it wasn't a best of three, considering the first two games were. So it is going to be a best of three game between Stephano and Titan. The first map is Shakuras. Then it is, of course, the loser's pick. And then from here on out, we'll see. So, Titan. And for a lot of people that are obviously looking at the overlay and the statistics that are there, it shows that he's obviously got a very low percentage against Zerg. But then you have to think about the sample size. The sample size is like 10 games maybe?
Not representative.
Well, not 10 games, but you know what I mean, because then it would be 30%, or 40%. But, you know, it's a very small number. And obviously, the larger the sample, the more accurate the percentage becomes.
Very smart.
But then in StarCraft, even if, let's say, I become a pro player, and I lost every game, every tournament, for a year. I had 5% in every matchup, but then for the next 2 months I won every single game and I was unbeatable.
I would probably put you under doping control, because if you went from 5% to that, something must be pretty wrong.
So
actually,
then the percentage would still be inaccurate, because it's not
yes.
recent percentage,
Absolutely.
it's overall percentage.
Absolutely. And then also you have to think, which tournaments did Titan attend? Did he only play Sota caps, where he didn't play the top of the top?
Indeed.
Or did he go to WCG?
Oh, he did go there, didn't he?
Yes, indeed he did. And he played a lot of top-tier tournaments, DreamHack as well, I think.
Yep.
So having a low win rate also could come from just having played pretty good players.
So it's not just the sample size or how recent it is, it also could be depending on who or where the sample was taken from.
Yes.
We are going in depth with our percentages today.
Because StarCraft 2 is science. It really is.
It really
Honestly,
is. It's all about small numbers. It's maths as well.
Yeah, I'm so amazed by how complex StarCraft 2 is. It's so mind-boggling. If you compare it to chess, you have 8 times 8 fields, and you have like some under 10 different figures and units, basically. And they all just can move in like certain ways. And already that is such a huge number how a game could go. And StarCraft 2 is about 100 times more complex as a game itself, not as how it is played. But the game itself is 100 times more complex than chess, and it happens in real time. So to become a true master of StarCraft 2 and playing a perfect match, it's impossible.
A lot to do.
It's impossible. It's humanly impossible, and that's what's so fascinating about StarCraft 2 to me, because you will always be able to improve. There's no limits, basically, to what you can do. Just yourself. Only yourself can limit yourself. So break out there. Just do what is in you.
You heard him, guys. If you got the stream muted,
yes.
well, you didn't.
You didn't
but
hear it.
You did.
You can do anything you want.
Yeah.
If we really
and now
want
you've
it.
unmuted the stream because we're pointing at the camera. Yeah, that's your problem. Anyway,
Yes.
game number 1 is starting, so let's get into it. I've hit the number pad button. I've hit Control N. My job is the start has finished.
I'm saving up screens because I'm being pro.
Yeah, you're being the pro. And in the bottom right, we do have the pink Power Ranger, none other than Millennium Stephano. And in the top left, we do have Ro8's Titan here as the underdog in the tournament, of course. But like we said earlier, never to be underestimated. He's had some okay results in the past. Will Stephano, though, just crush through him?
Yeah,
that is the question. That is what everyone's looking for here.
It's a little bit unfortunate for Titan to actually be facing Stephano first round.
Yes.
He would have had a better chance against other players, indeed. Shakura's Plateau, I think it's a nice map for Stephano.
Stephano loves this map.
Yeah.
He really does like this map. A lot of Zerg players do not, because a lot of Zerg players have a different playstyle to Stephano. A lot of Zerg players, like, for example, Damaga would probably, his playstyle would hate this map, because he likes to go late game and win with Brutals and Festers and stuff. But obviously, the later the game goes, the better it becomes for Protoss or Terran, because they can control the middle of the map It's obviously a small area, including the cliffs, and they can take these 2 bases very, very easily. But with Stephano's style, which is so different from everyone else, is, to me, when I watch Stephano play, the way to describe him is drone, bam, attack.
Yes.
It's literally that, because he just flicks the switch and it's on.
Yeah,
Like,
and then
that number
units,
can be anything.
Yeah, that is true. The number can be anything, and he's one of the few players who's very good at executing early timings and not missing a single inject.
Yes.
And you think, like, usually if I hold this, I'm fine, right? But then you go scouting and wait a minute, he has like 4 saturated bases. How did this happen?
Yeah.
That is what Stephano can do really well. I played him in a CVC in the ASO Cup or something some days ago, and he did some extremely strong early aggression. I was like, okay, I hold his push, right? I'm going to be ahead. And then I looked, oh, well, I missed 1 inject. I guess he's ahead after all.
And look at Titan's play, man. This is something that we spoke about earlier, something that you've experienced playing against him before as well. He has not gone for the traditional Forge Fast Expand. He's gone 1 gateway into the expansion gasless.
Okay.
So go ahead. You go ahead, man. I'm going to take 5.
Let me break you down what happened to me when I played against Titan. 2 versions of this build. Okay, he's going to add gas now. He's going to add 3 more gateways. Not going to get a forge for quite some time. Maybe get a forge and then 3 gateways. But he's going to block off with gateways first. And then he's going to transition this opening into either +2 Blink Stalker push or first Phoenix into +2 Blink Stalker push. That's what he did against me 2 times. The last 2 times I faced him ladder, so I wouldn't be surprised if he wouldn't do something similar here.
Stephano has got a late scout. You know, he's not opting to drone scout at all. And he will be able to go in now, and to be honest, he actually can go all the way in, like into the main, with these 2 lings now. He's going to obviously take it. Oh, he actually decides to turn around. But at the same time, he also knows that this wasn't a Forge Fast Expand.
Yes.
Because obviously the Zealot is out at like 4 minutes, and he sees the Forge being built. Or the Cybercore, sorry, being built. He didn't see the Forge yet, but he kind of knows what's going on. But to be honest, if you're Stephano right now, you must be like, huh? Like, alright, unless he's played against it before.
He might have. It's a really annoying build because basically most of the time you want to go pool first against Protoss, obviously, because of Cannon Rush.
Yeah, and you could have gone hatch first against this, basically.
And it would have been much better. Stephano even needs to add a Spine Crawler. Well, it doesn't really need to yet, but I guess...
I'm really surprised he hasn't taken the Xel'Naga towers.
Yeah, that's weird.
That is a little bit weird. I mean, he's got 2 lings.
You have 2 lings, why not?
Unless he's like, alright, well, I know, or I've played against this style before, he usually pushes out with like 1 or 2 zealots.
Yeah,
I'm just going to leave the 2 lings.
Even if you know you shouldn't be like,
exactly.
well, I guess I can have my lings at home and not...
you said that in a really British accent, then you went...
I know, I just noticed.
You just noticed.
The thing is, if we keep casting together, I think I'm going to sound more British and British, and I like that because it's a really, really sexy accent.
Well, that's what I'm here to do.
Yes. You're going to turn me into an Englishman.
Oh, look at that. That's such an awesome timing, too. That's an awesome timing there from Titan. Actually lands that and then cancels it because obviously he knows that he delayed the hatchery going down at that 6-minute mark.
Yes.
Which is a very common timing for Zerg players to hit. So that was a very nice pylon, and it delayed the expo a little bit just for a cost of 25 minerals, which was the pylon cancel. So I do like that little maneuver there by Titan. Meanwhile, let's have a look what Stephano's up to. He's getting gas. He's actually just going back into gas, sorry, and the Roach Shoreline has been put down. Stephano is a very heavy Roach player as well. You know, comparing the play we saw from Snoot, who's very Ling heavy, bailing drops and so on, we're actually seeing a lot of heavy Roach. But look at this. So we have 4 gateways now, and double gas has been put down as well. There is no Twilight Council, so he's not going to be able to rush into +2. But he's at the same time pushing now through the middle of the map, with a probe, which has been scouted this time by Stephano that has controlled the Xel'Naga tower.
Yes. The thing is, Roachburn is almost finished, but not quite yet, and that hatchery is quite far away. Oh my god, Titan gets a little bit distracted there. Wait a second, he actually does not go for the 3rd base. Well, he does. He could have been there a little bit earlier, so that was a little bit sloppy by Titan there, but he can definitely take out that base. If he pops in 2 sentries,
he
with this pilot, force field the ramp, take out the hatchery, and it would look really good for him.
Speed is about to be done though, and these lings are not going to let that pylon complete. Okay. They immediately take that down. There is another pylon building, but once again he's on a decent position on the ramp. He can spread across in a line. Oh, and he just gets there, and he's obviously going to maximize damage versus the lings, but roaches are on the way as well.
Yeah, 10 roaches are coming.
But the problem is, you know, this is the thing we talked about. Stephano could actually just clean this up and then push incredibly hard. He stopped drones at 42. Lings and roaches are here. Zealots get warped in too then. Well, actually, to be honest, With +1, they kill the Lings rather fast.
Yeah,
but
that was a little bit
roaches,
sloppy by Stephano.
Yeah.
You shouldn't even fight those with Lings, just have the roaches in the front. I don't know why Titan keeps walking in units.
yeah, that last 4 was definitely like a no-go.
Then again, he forced quite a lot of units for Stephano. He has a probe lead. It's 50 probes against 42 drones, even though 5 drones are coming now.
And there is Blink.
There's Blink
There is
coming.
no +2, but 2 extra gateways are going down. And look at the beauty of Lava Injects, that he builds 14 drones, just like that. And all of a sudden, he's going to be rushing up to like 54 drones. He's also looking for the probe and will find it as well, so Stephano's cleaned out everything of early aggression.
Yes.
He can now return and take the Xel'Naga towers and then scout for the 3rd base. What is going on? And he may actually send in an Overlord to find out what that actually is. There's a lot of Chrono Boost now been going down into the gateways for Titan. Blink is almost done, and these 2 extra gateways will put him a total of 6 with Blink.
Yes.
And I think that's all he's going to hit, man. Just 6 and Blink and go. But
The creep spread
Stephano
is pretty good.
Yeah, its creep spread's really good. He's in a really comfortable position to scout it. The lair is almost done as well, so he can actually get roach speed
Looks
too.
like Titan just wants to take a 3rd base, maybe though.
Yeah, that pylon placement. We talked about that with our last cast as well. It's such a beautiful position because you can build a cannon straight on the ground.
Yes.
And it can really help fortify that area for sure. But let's have a look at the composition of Titan. He has a lot of sentries, which is going to help in defending against Stephano if he does decide to, you know, be aggressive towards this. And especially if he throws down a cannon as well, he should be okay to now tech up into whatever choice he decides to go into.
Absolutely. Stephano is finally getting an Overseer. I wish he could... okay, it's in the main. It would actually be nice if you could click on the unit tab.
Picks up the double
get
forge
there.
very fast, sorry.
Well, no, it's actually not a
Yeah.
double forge, it's a single forge, because he took out his
right,
forge
yeah.
at the front. So
Oh, yes, yeah, sorry.
just gonna replenish that forge count.
70 drones. A lot of Roach and Lings are being made now. Or Roaches at the moment. And Roach speed is soon to be finished. So it looks like Stephano may want to pressure this 3rd base, which he's very well known for doing. Will Titan hold? That he has to hold.
Yeah,
Otherwise he loses the game. You know,
Yes.
it's that simple. And let's have a look at Titan's vision right now. Titan sees the creep spread. And we're actually just playing through Titan's vision right now, everybody. It's not me controlling the camera. And he's actively looking for what's coming. Stephano knows what he wants to do, but Titan's got a good scanning position right now. He can take off a few creatures, get some cancel, but he can't move out this far because we know, as the commentator, that he's setting up a bit of a flank here. Roach speed is about to kick in.
Oh my god, those roaches are actually a little bit early.
Ooh.
He's gonna get all of those.
The Immortal's in a great position too. It's very far at the back of the army. He's going to be able to pick off a lot of roaches, but there are a lot of roaches here.
I don't agree with what Stephano is doing here though. If he's not careful, he can lose everything.
Is he going to run into the main?
There's a sentry.
Okay.
Okay, it seems... If he can donut those roaches, he gets half of them at least.
Well, he is moving them kind of elegantly through the map.
true.
He is picking off a few, but he didn't do anything huge and damaging to himself. He's picked off a couple of units like these now once again. And the Titan's coming around from behind with the Immortal and setting up a nice flank, but he has to be careful because actually the Immortal is now exposed and the Roaches are a lot. They're with +1 as well. The Immortal does go down, but so far it's kind of an equal trade, to be honest. Maybe favoring Stephano a little bit more because of the Immortals going down, which is so important.
Yes.
But overall, that's not too bad for Titan. He's established the 3rd base, which is the most important thing overall as a conclusion here. And now Stephano needs to go to like plan B. You know, he's now thrown down a macro hatch. He has infestors and pathogen glands near completion. So they will come into the fray. And to be honest, the composition that Titan has right now isn't that well designed to keep up with Stephano.
No, absolutely not. Ling Roach Infestor just wrecks what Titan has right now. You need Colossus to deal with that, or Templar at least. Well, not at least, that would be even better. I think Stephano did a good job there. If you keep Protoss small like what he did at the beginning, even if you don't trade that coast effectively, it's still a good trade.
Absolutely. And you want to keep you basically want to wear down the Protoss and just keep them away from building up a death ball, which he's done so well. And you can tell by the army supply and the overall supply is at 137 to 169. And to be honest, when these are because look at the position that Titan's in, he's very much so clumped up. Fungal Growth is going to do so much damage, and here it comes now. Oh my god, there is that Fungal Growth. Roach and Link straight in there, and this is the composition which he can't deal with. And this actually could be game ending, especially with 30 more Links being streamed in the production tab. And Stephano is hitting the sweet spot, and without Colossus, man, Titan is in a world of trouble. Really nice forcefuls on the right hand side, preventing these infestors and roaches to get in. But, actually... Hold on, Tilo.
Yeah, it looks like Titan is defending here. He's taking out all the infestors. And the links just didn't come early enough.
The link didn't come early enough. The upgrades are not in Stephano's favor. I mean, I'm looking at they're only at 1-1. I mean, that's 1 for the Lings, 1 for the Roaches and their attack upgrades. And now Titan's taking a 4th base. And all of a sudden, that actually looked in a horrible position for Titan. He actually looked like game, set, done.
Yes.
But somehow, some way, he managed to keep units and controlling them well with Blink and having an upgrade advantage. He's managed to hold that base, which is obviously fantastic for him now. And he's throwing down a second robotics facility.
Okay.
Is he going to throw down the robotics bay, though, or just stay on Immortals?
Stephano is going into an extremely defensive position now, throwing down 5 more spine crawlers, adding up to a total of 9 spine crawlers.
So I guess that
10
H
even.
button's going to be hit soon.
Yes, that H button is going to be hit soon, and it's going to be followed up by the second time of him hitting an S button? Yes, S button.
The S
S
button,
is
yeah.
Spire. And yeah, it's not G for Creator Spire. You know, I'm really confused about hotkeys because I know all hotkeys, obviously, but if I get asked about hotkeys,
You know, it's
I'm
just like hands, right?
I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, I have no idea how to make drones.
It's just my hand does it automatically. But Titan and taking this north base is really good. This is actually a lot smarter base to take rather than the bottom left base, or let's say the 9 o'clock base, because it's such a smooth line, a smooth curve for Titan to defend in, and he doesn't have to extend into open areas at the same time.
Yes.
And that's obviously giving him a great position, but he cannot let Stephano tech up to Broodlords and so on. So right now we do have the robotics bay going down. He's also adding on double Stargates. So he wants to bring in some Void Rays, obviously, to help with the late game composition. But there are a lot of infestors here, but pretty good force fields, actually.
But even more beautiful fungals. He just uses like 20 links to take out 6 stalkers, and as long as you trade minerals against gas here, it's just beautiful for Zerg. If there's not a lot of stalkers, your portals are going to be stronger too. And Titan really needs to get his composition together here. He adds 2 Colossus now. He's adding 2. He's actually up to 3 Stargates.
Oh wow!
So
I wonder. I mean, if he throws down the fleet beacon, he could potentially bring in carriers into this game.
I think he's probably just gonna go Void Ray.
Yeah.
Then again, is he getting a fleet beacon?
Not yet. He hasn't got it yet. So I mean, there goes the hive down, a double spire as well. So we are going to have one upgrading to Greater Spire, and then the other, obviously, for the Carapace upgrade.
That's 21 infestors for Stephano. That's a little bit of overkill.
Oh, look at this. He's also getting the Neuroparasite too. And this is what we're seeing from players, Zerg players now later on, are dealing with the Mothership a lot better with Neuroparasite.
Absolutely. If you have that high number of infestors, it gets pretty difficult for Protoss to really stop Neuroparasite coming down, because it's just going to be used over and over again.
Yeah.
However, I wonder if...
the thing is, though, that Void Rays are good late game, but against 21 infestors, I don't know. And a pretty nice wall off here from... but I guess at the same time, it's a good wall off from Titan, but this doesn't matter, you know. These units, I mean, he probably even just sacrificed the Lings. You don't want Lings late game against Protoss.
Yeah, 8 Corruptors are coming in now.
So yeah, he's just going to go Broodlords. He's got 155 supply.
Fleet Beacon is being added.
Okay, man.
Titan is going to take a 5th base.
I've been so excited to see, because I've seen a lot of players do this on ladder and get away with a win, but I haven't seen it in a tournament scenario correctly yet. Using Mothership, Fleet Beacon, of course, bringing that out, and the carriers in, because carriers are good against...
he's adding Protoss air weapons, so...
Yeah, I mean, if he dedicates to it, that carriers are also very good, but you need Void Ray mix in there as well, because the Corrupt is obviously doing extra damage versus massive units, which are carriers and Mothership. So maybe he won't, maybe he'll just stay on Void Rays, but it's an interesting choice not to go High Templar Archon and Mothership, but rather than go Fleet Beacon and Void Ray. So maybe he could add in carriers, but at the same time, another run by here from Stephano, going to get shut down, but... Oh, this is maybe a fight Titan shouldn't really be taking. I don't know about this.
He's just going to get bungled to death.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to lose absolutely everything. And right now he's in the middle of a transition, so it's like the worst time in the world to exchange an army.
Beautiful infestor control.
Yeah, I mean, he loses absolutely everything here, and the supply plummets. And, oh dear God, let's have a look at the army supply. It's actually surprisingly okay, but there are about to be 1 million Broodlords into the game. Let's have a look at the switch. There comes the Mothership. +1 is on the way. Colossus also coming too. An extra... I love the fact that Titan just throws down double Nexus. You know, you've got a lot of minerals. Your main base is mined out. Your natural is not so far away. Let's just double expand and get that done nice and fast.
Yes, yes. I think people should definitely throw down more Nexus more often. It even gives you a Chrono Boost,
Yeah, absolutely.
which is quite fine. It's like a big pylon too, and I think Titan should have just played it completely passively against that many Infestors, really, because Infestors are not that good in attacking, and Titan could just have went for that carrier mothership composition maybe against it even.
And he's also upgrading the shield, or should I say, the level 1 upgrade fuel something, but it went away. I didn't actually get to finish that, unfortunately, but that's obviously going to help out with the air as well. And not just the air, but everything. So it's obviously a great upgrade for seeing this. The Void Ray count is getting incredibly high. Titan has to spread the Void Rays.
Yes.
You cannot say it any simpler than that. Otherwise, they will get fungal growth and they will die. Infested Terrans can be good, but so can charged up Void Rays.
And all those Void Rays are clamped up. Oh
my god, no, Titan, no! That is not what you should be doing. And down comes Stephano. Stephano's income is crazy. And so be honest, so is Titan's. And now the Broodlords are getting picked off, but the Void Rays, man, that is so much money in investment in Void Rays that just went down to nothing. Even the upgrades, the +1, upgrade, there's so much money being down. And Stephano is powering through, but Titan seems to be holding on for now. The Colossus are getting rid of a lot of this, and more Void Rays are coming in. They're charged up, they're doing a lot of damage to the Corruptors, but there just seems too many Corruptors, especially with Infested Terrans into the fray as well. The production tab tells the story, as there is nothing but units and upgrades for Stephano, and only a handful of units right now. Brutal's making on top of the Nexus. Please, Stephano. And
Mothership
this is
coming in now, but it doesn't even have energy yet. It can cloak everything, but it will be taken out by Corruptors here. They find the Mothership.
yeah, and that's just gonna. Well, I guess the Mothership can go down, but at least the Void Rays get charged up for a little bit longer.
Not really.
Yeah, they go down anyway. And all of a sudden, GG is called, and Titan puts up a good fight.
Absolutely, it was a good game. Came down to, well, basically a little bit of sloppy control decisions by him. Attacking that 5th base by Stephano, losing everything to fungal growth, instead of just splitting the map, getting a lot of cannons. Infestors, not so good against cannons, obviously. So if you would just have went for a ton of cannons, a lot of Void Rays combined with a few Colossus, and just go for that ultimate composition.
Yeah.
I don't think 24 or 21 Infestors are that good. But
no. It'd be interesting. I mean, I really do think that Protoss versus Zerg very late game is still very much so undeveloped. I think there's a lot of potential for Protoss players to mess around with stuff. Like, imagine a Mothership and a bunch of air units, and then High Templar in the mix, and feedbacks. Imagine that. And Storms.
Yes.
And Colossus too, because when you're on that amount of base, you actually have a lot of gas. And you can actually mix and dibble-dabble with a bit of everything. But, of course, you can't overbuild or underbuild in something. You have to make the perfect composition. But we'll see, man. Titan's showing some good potential to keep up with Stephano at least.
Stephano is sick, so that game was quite okay.
He is sick. So, guys, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. Just play a little bit of music. Just give these guys just to chill out. And actually, I like that. You know, the mentality of players is like lose going a game. I actually like when somebody holds them back. What do you reckon about that? Just to be like, we're going to take a commercial break, guys. We're actually not going to play the next game for like 2 minutes. And the player actually has 2 minutes to think it over rather than just going straight into the next game. What do you think about that?
Paul, I think it's nice as a player if you get 2 minutes to think, actually.
Yeah. I don't like a player just going, like if I was coaching you, man, and you were losing and you just wanted to play the next game straight away, I'd be like, no.
Yes.
You sit and think.
And take a sip of water. Get some sugar in your system.
Yeah, exactly.
That's extremely important.
Yeah.
And get a towel. Get the sweat from your hands.
Exactly.
Yes.
Do a little stretch. Do this.
Do a stretch.
Anybody that's watched TLO's stream and knows what this is. All right, guys. Quick commercial break, and then we're back very, very shortly. So stay tuned. Thank you very much.